Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newpert from chasingstrength.com. And in today's video, I want to encourage you, don't be this guy. All right. Now, who is this guy? Well, let me tell you a true story. I recently went to the beach for a long overdue vacation. And in the mornings, my wife would go for a long walk right down the beach. And I would do the same thing in the afternoons. Now, one particular afternoon, I was about halfway through my outbound leg, which means, and by the way, this is really super easy for you to do if you want to get some exercise time in. Doesn't have to be at the beach. You just set a timer for X number of minutes and you go out and the timer beeps and then you come back. Okay. Really simple. So my outbound leg, this timer was set for 30 minutes and I was out there and out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of an older but thin woman struggling to help her husband get up out of the surf zone. I mean, I just paused for a few seconds because it looked kind of strange. I totally didn't expect to see this, but literally this gentleman had fallen and he could not get up, right? And the water was running over his body and smashing him in the face. And the guy was struggling. And so was his wife. She's down there with two hands and she's trying to get him out of the surf zone. And this thing could go south really quickly for both of them. Okay. So she noticed that she caught my attention. And so she frantically waved me over, beckoning for my help. This gentleman was in his mid to late 50s, maybe early 60s, a bit shorter than me, and about 40 to 50 pounds, 19 to 32 kilos for my metric friends. Heavier than me. And he had a decent sized belly, right? Pretty good sized gut. And he literally could not get himself up out of the surf zone. It was like that old commercial in the 80s, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Now, the sad part and the dangerous part was his wife couldn't get him up either. And she actually was risking being pulled down into the surf zone on top of him, either hurting him or hurting herself, right? Or hurting both of them at the same time. And when you got water coming up, right, and you're down right at the water level, that's not a good place to be for anybody. So I went over there and asked if they needed for help. And she's like, yes. And she and I each grabbed her husband by a hand and the arm and pulled him up. Now, the truth is I did most of the pulling. And fortunately for me and for them, it was easy for me to do, right? So after checking that he wasn't dizzy and that he was okay and didn't need more of my help, I went, on my way. Now, a few minutes later, I looked back over my shoulder and this gentleman was down again. Now, fortunately, he wasn't that deep into the surf zone. He's further up the beach. And so the water wasn't smacking him in the face like it was before. So they appeared to be okay. And they weren't waving back at me for my help, excuse me. Right. So what does this have to do with you? And what does this have to do with me? And what does this have to do with swinging kettlebells? Well, personally, I have determined to never be that guy or be like that guy. In fact, this may sound cruel, but it's not. I think that no self-respecting man should ever be that guy. Personally, I have determined to keep myself healthy and strong, to do the best I can, right? Whatever is in my ability and whatever is under my control, to be healthy and strong. So I'm not a burden to my family or greater society as a whole. All right. And personally, right, I think that you should do the same, right? You should determine to keep yourself healthy and strong so you are not a burden to your family or society as a whole. And more importantly, I never want to find myself in a position, and I don't think you should either, where I put myself and a loved one, like my wife, right, in a dangerous situation where both of us could be severely injured or even killed. In my estimation, or my opinion, for what it's worth, that is just plain old selfish, right? And I know that's contrary to what some may believe. Some people, hopefully not you, believe that working out on a daily basis or near daily basis is selfish, but it's not, right? It's not selfish. It's the old put your oxygen mask on first mentality. As long as it's not taken to the extreme, right? As long as you're not working out 3 hours a day, okay, and neglecting your wife and your family in the process, right? The truth is you can reverse course the faster than normal march toward eternity if you find yourself in this situation by simply training or working out 3 to 5 days a week, 15 to 30 minutes a day. And that doesn't sound like much compared to maybe what we did as kids, right? Or when we were in our teens or early 20s. But I guarantee you a little bit goes a long way, especially if you're consistent in this last 2/3, last half of your life, right? The truth is you can lose that belly fat. You can lose those love handles and you can get much leaner than you are now with strategic kettlebell exercise programming and the right nutrition, right? You can get much stronger than you are now and help yourself and those around you in need with the proper kettlebell workout plan, right? So it doesn't have to be complicated. You just start with something simple. Kettlebell swings, some Turkish get-ups, and some goblet squats, for example. From there, those are the basics. You progress to the intermediate exercises. The press, the clean, and the snatch, and even the push press and the jerk, right? And then from there, you move to the more advanced exercises, which are the double kettlebell exercises. Now, I personally have found over the last decade that the 3 to 4 best exercises, and by best, I mean the biggest bang for your buck exercises for guys like us, guys who are over 40, right, are the following. Number 1, the double clean and press. Okay. Number 2, the double kettlebell front squat. And number 3, the single kettlebell snatch. A steady diet of those 3 to 4 exercises will absolutely transform your appearance, your function, and your performance, ensuring that you're not that guy, the guy who's fallen into the surf zone and needs the help of others to get up, or worse, puts other people's lives in jeopardy in order to get up. If that's you and you need some help, I'll leave a link in the description below this video to 3 different programs to make sure that you are not that guy. Okay. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, leave a comment below, and share it with a friend. Right? Until next time, my friend, stay strong.